Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushman. Today's video is really kicking off 2024 for our feature videos. This is about the Mark 14. It's a video I make pretty much every year. It's almost like a PSA for the PUBG Mobile community because there is a lot about this weapon that just seems to be swept under the rug, and I feel honor bound to point out that this is the most underutilized and least appreciated gun in PUBG Mobile. It has never fitted the meta. It has never been the meta, and it probably never will be the meta. It is, however, very, very good at what it does. And what it does is kill quicker than any other full auto weapon when you connect. And that's it. And that's both the blessing and the curse of the Mark 14. Unlike a lot of the airdrop weapons that have been up and down and around, the Mark 14 has been incredibly consistent throughout all the years of PUBG Mobile's. You know, it's not like the Mark 14 has been buffed and nerfed and they've changed the damage, and it's had slight buffs, it's had nerfs that have done nothing, and it's remained a gun that the M416 loving, frolicking hordes of players just don't really get. Let's start with some really simple facts about the Mark 14. It has the most damage of any full auto weapon. You can call the SLR and all that full auto. That I'm happy for you to use the full auto thing, but the Mark 14 is a true full auto. You don't need a special attachment to get a full auto spray going on the Mark 14. It does 61 base damage. Now, that was a lot when it first came out. Like, that was always a lot, the base damage of 61. But they have buffed all the DMRs to try and get people to run the DMRs. And that is, of course, done this weird thing where the Mark 14 has been buffed despite being, in my opinion, just ludicrously overpowered if you know how to use it and if you set it up correctly. So it's now got 61 base damage, and where it used to have just on 800 meters a second bullet speed, it has 937 meters a second bullet speed. That's the same bullet speed as an M16. Slightly more bullet speed than an M416. And the stopping power, like if you needed to get a rhinoceros off your back, this is the weapon you'd use. It's absolutely brutal. And while it does necessitate a certain change in style, and we'll get to that in just a second, when it hits, they stay hit. The time to kill is 0.19. It is the only full auto weapon in PUBG Mobile that has under 0.2 of a second time to kill a level 2 vest. Awesome. To put that in some kind of perspective for you, the Graza is renowned as being filthy 0.231 seconds. The difference is phenomenal versus, say, an M416. M416 is 0.376 seconds time to kill. The Mark 14 is 0.19. Now, these are all wonderful positives. The fact that it can mount a candid sight, which I use on it all the time, that it can mount an 8X, these are all great things. What is the negative? Well, anyone who doesn't have a brain and hasn't been and reset their sensitivity for the Mark 14 in the training room will tell you that the recoil is the negative. And while the recoil is worse than the M416, that's about it. I don't think that the recoil is worse than an AKM. It's about the same for me as an AKM. And it's very easy to find a happy middle ground with the Mark 14. Where it suffers the most is in hipfire. People love running UMP because they want to hipfire. They want to that same movement speed that gets them across the line with the UMP or an Uzi, so they want to run that as a hipfire. And its hipfire spread is rough. But when you're 3 feet away from someone, if you can adjust your playstyle so that you're not hip firing from 25 meters, you're going to be fine. you're not going to struggle. You're going to just rinse them.
Awesome.
It is very good at 3 and 4x sprays. Like you can absolutely spray with a 3 and a 4x, but you can also hammer with the red dot here. And it's one of the guns that tremendously benefits from the aim assist. If you've got aim assist on, the Mark 14 gets a lot of value from that, because aim assist, it was recently shown to me to be true. Aim assist does not just push to the head. Aim assist just goes to the body of the target, and it's just a flat out good thing, unless there's a knock next to it or someone crossing behind, and you can sometimes get dragged along to the wrong target. But when you're in tight confines like this gun just knocks people on their ass. And I know it can be very intimidating if you are used to running UMP M416 to run like a Mark 14 and a freaking Car 98 or something. But this is an SLR, okay? The SLR is a lightweight Mark 14 as a DMR, and it has a big damage headshot round. The SLR's base headshot damage is 133.2 no helmet. It's 93.24 to a level 1 helmet. The Mark 14 is better than what you just saw. It is 140 base damage, no helmet, 98 damage to a level 1 helmet. And it will even hurt a level 3 helmet to the tune of 63 damage with one shot. Now, it's not as good as the Mini 14 at spamming and spraying as a DMR. It's not as good as the M416 at spraying with a 3X at 180 meters. But it's better than both those weapons as a CQC beast. And it can perform those things. Hell, I've sprayed with an 8X on this thing and done it a lot of times on streams all over the place. But you have to adjust your playstyle. One of the big things about the Mark 14 is you only have 10 in the clip. So what you want to be doing with it is try to always be taking your engagements from hardcover. And that seems simple, but a lot of people get bored. We all do. We get bored. We get a little bit loosey-goosey. We start running around and we start jumping out in the middle of everyone. You're like, oh, thank God that guy's trying to run shotgun and his mate down here can't shoot because I'm dead otherwise, because I'm having to reload both these every engagement. If you're next to hard cover, you can get your reload off a lot quicker. Another thing about the Mark 14 is you need to look for sniper compensators. Sniper compensators are better than AR compensators for the DMRs. You'll get more recoil reduction, and you certainly need it with a Mark 14 running a sniper compensator as opposed to an AR compensator. The muzzle brake is the best for all. Like, muzzle brake is brilliant. The other thing that sniper compensators do, which is more important if you're running the Mark 14 as a long range weapon, which you don't get out of the muzzle brake, is a sniper compensator will allow you to hold more damage over distance. There is a reduction, a very gentle reduction, to be honest, at range of your damage. And if you're using a sniper compensator, it's the only attachment you can put on a Mark 14 or something like that on a normal map that will actually lessen that damage drop off over distance. It's a hell of a gun. The reason I'm making the video is I was thinking of what I would call different loadouts in PUBG Mobile. And I'd call my double Mark 14 loadout leftovers, because I'm always finding Mark 14s in airdrop crates, whether it's a flare crate or whether it's a crate that's just dropped straight out of the belly of a normal red and blue. It's constantly left. People will leave these and carry an M416 and a UMP, or an M416 and a DBS. And I almost feel like telling them, if you put a 3X on a Mark 14, you'll still be able to spray at range. And I do it all the freaking time. Or you can just learn to aim and use it as a DMR. But then I don't tell them that because, you know, who wants to have them get good? It would be much easier for me if they keep leaving Mark 14s in the crates, because I love running this thing. It's like, anyone that's been watching this channel for any length of time knows that I've been trumpeting the power of this weapon for an awfully long time. You'll see I'm going around here with 16 in the clip. You get used to it. You get good at hip firing. You get your sensitivity set up right, and you've got a gun that will absolutely shred. And I use the canted sight on this thing all the time, and people don't use it often enough, but it is an absolute weapon when combined with the Mark 14. 3X Mark 14 canted sight, and you can cover off on a whole bunch of different ranges. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to be good to each other out there on the battlefield. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any videos you really specifically want to see, or game mechanics or topics you want to see discussed, leave a comment below and I'll get to them. We're doing a lot of Patreon stuff as well at the moment. Patreon.com/thebushka. If you want to come and join those streams, we do 2 a week. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's become a channel member and who has been subscribed and spreading the word. And we're going to do a lot more of these style of videos where we discuss the weapons. We're going to go through all the weapons, hopefully before the first half of the year is out. Until next time, look after yourself, stay safe on the battlefield, and as always, bye for now.